Today I wanted to talk about 8 different things that I do throughout my day to really ensure that I have a good tomorrow. Because if there's one thing I know for certain, it's what I do today is what largely affects what will come tomorrow.
I love you tomorrow.
Almost overnight, I went from being really sick, mind, body, spirit, energy, basically just beside myself, to feeling so much healthier and so much more abundant in those areas of my life.
It's a new dawn, it's a new day.
I used to live my life in the complete fast lane.
Burn some dust here.
I was not slowing down for anybody, especially myself. I used to overwork myself all the time.
Work, 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 work.
I would go out and party every weekend.
Party all the time.
You would even find me at the bar during the week.
I'll have a beer.
Smoked cigarettes. I drank too much caffeine for my own good.
Put some coffee on.
I had low self-esteem. I didn't have any confidence. I wanted everyone else except for myself to accept who I was.
Look at me! Look at me!
I wasn't in a good place. And then I noticed change knock at my door. The one thing I have to say about change is when that sensation comes in or that thought drops into the awareness that change needs to take place, that urging alarm to do things differently actually will not go away until things are done differently.
I will never go away.
And I learned that the quicker I act on things, the smoother my life flows and the less resistance I am met with.
'Cause I can't resist it no more.
Not everything fell into place all at once. Some of these practices took me years of trial and error to figure out how I could place them into my everyday routine with ease.
That was easier than I thought.
So without beating around the bush any further, let's jump right into it. Here are 8 effective practices for a better tomorrow. Make your bed and tidy your space. Maybe you've heard of me talk about this concept before.
Is this a coincidence or what?
But for me, starting my day by giving thanks to my bed for allowing me to have such a restful sleep the night before and making it and just tidying up my space, tidying up my room, making sure that the living room is tidy before I go to bed, that the kitchen is tidy before I go to bed.
So it's very neat and tidy.
Neat and tidy-ish.
When I used to live in an unkept space or a very cluttered space, it would raise anxiety. I would look around, I would feel so unsettled and not even know where to begin with myself.
But I had to start somewhere.
The next practice would be catching and calming my mind, catching the thoughts in my mind and really calming down what words, what phrases, what ideas are overly active within my brain.
Declutter your mind and clear a path to true happiness.
Closely linked to an unorganized space and a messy area, when my mind is going nonstop, it really indicates that my anxiety is at a level that is not preferred.
Anxiety, irritability, I've got those.
The next thing I have committed myself to is getting outside anywhere from 30 to 60 minutes every single day, no matter what the weather.
Please, it's just, I don't know, drizzling.
I have spent way too many days, way too many years, way too many hours cooped up indoors. And the effects that also had on my mental health.
You're feeling overwhelmed.
It's really interesting how these first 3 habits I've noticed have such a massive effect on my mind. The next thing I have here is working out and moving the body with other people. This is joining a gym or going to a yoga studio or maybe going to a cycle spin class.
Your mind! Change your body! Change your life!
Doing something physical in the company of others who likely have similar interests. This is a great way to maybe make a new friend.
They created the show.
Or even get creative ideas from those around you. I notice myself when I go to the gym, I always kind of have my eye on other people so that I can get inspired and find ways to switch up my own routine.
Good workout.
The next practice I have listed is prayer, giving thanks to God, expressing my gratitude.
Remember, God is listening to your prayers.
If you're interested in expanding your prayer practice or even starting a prayer practice, a really great place to start would be the Hallow app. I love the Hallow app. It is an app that I use every single day. The next practice I can think of is to praise yourself.
I'm kind of a big deal.
This is to congratulate yourself on a job well done. It's to finding ways to have your back throughout the day, because having your own back means so much more than finding support from someone else.
Give yourself a pat on the back.
Super quick story. There was a time in my life where I was uncomfortable praising myself. There was actually a very long period of my life where this brought up discomfort.
Ick.
I was out for a walk one day and I was having a conversation with God. And as we were talking, this is what he said to me. He said, Vanessa, praise yourself, because as you praise you, you are also praising me.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
And even though I don't remember to do this maybe nearly as often as I should, I will take moments from time to time to really congratulate myself for the things that I'm doing and remind myself of how far I've come. The next thing I have here is when I decided to wean myself off of certain substances and then food groups, whatever it was, I noticed huge shifts. This is something that can only be talked about so much. It really was up to me to make the decision to experience it for myself.
Wait for it.
Something I also thought of was reading.
I checked this out weeks ago for a bit of light reading.
And I noticed that when I put more of a focus on reading books, it draws me away from habits like going onto Netflix, scrolling through TikTok all night instead of curling up to a book.
And devoured one book after another.
And the other thing that happens with reading is I feel like it helps me to explore the world through the eyes of other people and their experiences. I can read travel blogs.
I'm going on an adventure.
I can read memoirs. I can read self-help.
A little help, please.
And I really appreciate how they not only expand my mind, but they give me the courage and the incentive to try new things as often as possible. When I make time in my day to do everything that we just talked about, I feel happier. I feel more centered. I feel balanced. I feel like a better person.
How do you feel?
Like $1,000,000.
Before you go, let me know in the comments below which practice you find really allows you to show up in the best way possible the following day. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. Until next time, get lost in joy and remember, you are always connected. I'll see you again soon.